challenges, in our opinion, seem to have overwhelmed our security institutions.
The governors are supposed to be the state security officers of their state.
There is need for us to at least engage the traditional rulers.
We need to do something about our porous borders.
We have to own it from the unit level to the ward level to the local government to state.
Mr. President, the importance of today for us is for us to take action.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The profit that is drawn from these investments should not just go to the pension administrators.
Senate proposes that contributors to pension funds should benefit from their savings.
C. Enable the federal government to remove illegally possessed firearms from the society.
And Senate seeks control of proliferation of firearms in Nigeria. This is Inside the Senate, and I am Hussaina Amina Aboki, your anchor. Many bills, amongst them the pension reform as well as new law school campuses bills, were presented for second reading during plenary of last week. The report in this episode of the program. We shall also bring you another report from the Office of the Senate President of the legislative intervention to resolve the issue of a planned increase of tuition fees in the nation's tertiary institutions, amongst other activities. This and more in this episode of the program. Stay tuned for details after this short break.
The Senate to send a message to the President
to reap opportunities from that.
To raise a matter of urgent public importance.
And we are aware that when this particular motion comes up,
for a longer term development, arise to second the motion.
Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
On Wednesday, the 9th of February 2022, the Senate considered for second reading the Pension Reform Act 2004 Amendment Bill 2022. The sponsor, Senator Ali Yumagatakardawa Mako, stated that the bill seeks to address the plight of pensioners who contribute into the contributory pension scheme under the pension fund administrators by allowing them to withdraw 70% of their savings at any time. He alleged that even with an asset of 12.78 trillion naira with PENCOM, as of July 2021, pensioners are still groaning in hunger, sickness, and abject poverty.
Of what significance are these huge sums and assets of money to the owners, the Nigerian pensioners, who are daily dying of hunger, disease, and deprivation? I believe this is cruel and justifiably inhuman. So let the Nigerian pensioners feel the impact of the assets their savings have generated.
the bill or the act provides that investments are going to be carried out by these fund administrators, and at the end of the day, it will add up to what your benefit is going to be in the long run. Where are they doing the investment? What is the accrued interest or benefit to those investments? Most of these beneficiaries or pensioners don't have a clue.
The profit that is drawn from these investments should not just go to the pension administrators, but the benefit should accrue to the contributors.
Consequently, the bill passed second reading and was referred to the Committee on Establishment to report back in 4 weeks. For details of other bills that scaled second reading in the Senate last week, stay tuned for our first report presented from our studio.
Highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I thank you for the privilege.
The Senate also considered the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 Amendment Bill 2022, sponsored by Senator Yahaya Oloregbe. The bill seeks to strengthen the operations of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, in Nigeria.
The objective of this bill, therefore, are to seek to strengthen the operations and increase the effectiveness of NGOs in Nigeria, introduce measures that address the full range of regulatory issues relating to registration, administration, and merger, provide a consistent regulatory framework that enhances NGO coordination in Nigeria.
There are several NGOs in Nigeria that have significant impact with huge investment. However, there are a lot of persons
that use NGOs in a very, very not charitable manners. Therefore, with this amendment, Mr. President, this will cover those NGOs that are doing excellent job, that wants to operate by international standard, respect the laws of the country, to be protected. These laws will cover them.
After second reading, the bill was referred to the Committee on Trade and Investment, as well as Diaspora, to report back in 4 weeks. Also presented for second reading was the Federal University of Transportation, the Daura Establishment Bill 2022, sponsored by Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah.
The university will no doubt lead the African continent in advancing knowledge, improve transportation decision making, and result in better transportation system.
If this is done, we'll need the necessary manpower, the expertise to run and maintain the huge investment that's been made to put in place a sound transportation system in this country. And that's why this institution is necessary.
Bill then scaled second reading and has been referred to the Committees on Third Fund and Land Transport to report back in 4 weeks. Similarly, more bills seeking the establishment of medical facilities in various parts of Nigeria also scaled second reading and were referred to the Committees on Health and Third Fund to report back in 4 weeks. They include Federal Medical Center Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2022, sponsored by Senator Lekon Mustafa. Federal University of Medicine and Medical Sciences Establishment Bill Egbe, Kogi State, sponsored by Senator Smart Adebi. And Federal Medical Center Obukba, Nsukka, Enugu State, Establishment Bill 2022, sponsored by Senator Chukwuka Utazi.
Distinguished colleagues,
earlier Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022, the Senate also considered the Firearms Act to provide for the full control of the proliferation of firearms in Nigeria. A startling revelation in the report of the United Nations Center for Disarmament in Africa reveals that out of the 500 million firearms in circulation in the West African sub-region, 350 million, representing 70%, are found in Nigeria. The Nigerian Custom also reported that it intercepted and seized 661 pump-action rifles illegally imported from China on the 31st of January 2017. All these have fueled insecurity, hence the need for the bill, which was titled Firearms Act 2004, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2022. It was sponsored by Senator Sani Musa.
The purpose of this bill, therefore, is to enhance the constitutional right to life and bodily integrity, prevent the proliferation of illegally possessed firearms, and by providing for the removal of those firearms from society, and by improving control over legally possessed firearms to prevent crime involving the use of firearms.
In supporting the bill, one of the lawmakers solicited more focus on the local manufacturing of firearms.
We are losing the fact that there is a very, very significant firearm manufacturing industry in Nigeria, focused on manufacture of local Dane guns. Anybody that has seen our vigilantes in action will see the very long barrel Dane guns that they carry. But what is more worrying, Mr. President, is that we have had instances where some of those manufacturers have adapted the capacity to manufacture more deadly weapons.
This bill scaled second reading and was referred to the Senate Committee on Judiciary to report back in 4 weeks. Also for second reading was the Immigration Act 2015 Amendment Bill 2022, sponsored by Senator George Sekibo. He said that the amendment seeks to subject the appointment of the Comptroller General of Immigration to Senate's confirmation.
The bill, if passed, will help to strengthen the oversight powers of the Senate over the appointment of the Comptroller General of Immigration, ensure adherence to the rule of law by the President, as well as help to put in check the exercises of the executive branch of government over appointment of head of the Immigration Service, which have very critical internal security implications for the country.
Today, the Comptroller General of Nigerian Correctional Services appears before this Senate before his or her confirmation. The Nigerian Immigration Service, Civil Defense, and the fire service are under the same board with the Nigerian Correctional Services. Mr. President, I think it is right time for us to begin to correct some of the flaws in these laws.
Subsequently, the bill's clear second reading are referred to the Committee on Interior to report back in 4 weeks.
Those were reports from the Senate chamber on the various bills considered at second reading in the week under review. Let's now take a short break for our notebook segment. Don't go away.
Sergeants-at-Arms are officers who provide security to Parliament across the world. In the Nigerian context, they are regular features in national and state legislatures, who enforce all legislative protocols, among which is bearing the symbol of authority, the mace, to lead the Senate President and principal officers in a procession into the chamber at the commencement of each legislative day. Their security duties are complemented by the police, who in most cases are stationed within and at the entrance of the National Assembly. Unlike some climes where sergeants-at-arms bear arms, those in Nigeria do not.
The only way out of the pandemic is for the population to observe the recommended measures advised by the NCDC. The Senate Committees on Health and Primary Health Care and Communicable Diseases will continue to engage with the Federal Ministry of Health and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19.
The program is inside the Senate. Earlier on, we brought you reports of bills considered for second reading in the legislative week spanning 8th to 10th February 2022. The program continues with more reports from the Senate chamber as we take highlights of some major reports considered by the Senate. One of such reports adopted by the Senate was on the Legal Education Consolidation Act 2004, Amendment Bill 2021, which recommended the setting up of 2 new campuses of the Nigerian Law School in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria to address the overstretching of the existing ones, who now suffer infrastructural problems as a result of the increasing number of law graduates from the nation's universities. More on this alongside other reports from our studio. Keep watching. The Legal Education Consolidation Act 2004 Amendment Bill 2021 was sponsored by Senator Smart Adeyemi. The bill was read a second time and referred to the Committee on Judiciary on Wednesday, the 6th October 2021, while a public hearing was held on the 15th of November 2021. The committee's observations and recommendations from the hearing and from its work were presented by the chairman on Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022.
The provision for additional campuses in the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation in this bill is appropriate, as it has not tampered with the 7 existing campuses established by administrative responsibilities of the Council of Legal Education.
The Senate dissolved into the Committee of the Whole, where clauses of the bill were considered and the bill passed. Amongst its highlights was the provision for 2 campuses of the law school in each of Nigeria's geopolitical zone as follows: North Central, Jos Plateau State and Kabal Kogi States; Northeast, Damaturu Yobe State and Maiduguri Borno State; Northwest, Kano State and Argungu Kebbi State; Southeast, Enugu State and Okija Anambra State; South-South, Yenagoa Bayelsa State and Port Harcourt Rivers State; Southwest, Lagos State and Ilawe Ekiti State. Meanwhile, the Buhari campus remains exclusively for the FCT. Another report considered was from the Committee on FEMA, which investigated the allegation of non-compliance of relevant bodies to Section 14 of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency FEMA Act 2007, which provides that 5% of all pump price as well as international vehicles transit charges be remitted to FEMA to rehabilitate Nigerian roads. The Senate had on the 15th of October 2019 observed that the act was not being complied with. As a result, it mandated the Committee on FEMA to investigate the matter. Having completed its findings, the committee chairman, while presenting their report on Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022, stated that they discovered that the relevant ministers concerned seemed not to be aware of the arrangement and therefore recommended as follows.
That the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing should liaise with the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources on the need to commence the implementation of 5% charge on petroleum, motor spirits, PMS, and automotive gas oil, AGO, otherwise known as diesel, as provided in the Firearms Act of 2007. That the Petroleum Pricing Regulatory Agency Act be amended to capture the 5% charge for FIRMA in the Petroleum Industry Act as soon as possible.
The report was perused, following which it was adopted as amended. Still at plenary, the Senate concurred with some bills passed by the House of Representatives. Amongst them are Animal Disease Control Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2022, National Center for Ear, Nose and Throat Disease (NACENT) Establishment Bill 2022, and Harmonized Retirement Age for Teachers in Nigeria Bill 2022.
Senate Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Emmanuel Buacha, to the ruling APC.
Meanwhile, in an announcement on Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022, the Senate Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Emmanuel Buacha, informed the Senate of his change of party from PDP to APC under personal explanation.
This day, I announce henceforth my exit from the People's Democratic Party and to join the governing party because of visible presence of the party in my senatorial district.
With this development, the Senate President gave the new composition of the Senate along party's line as follows.
With this development, now the All Progressives Congress, the APC, has 70 senators. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has 38 senators. YPP, 1 senator.
However, an opposing senator in a constitutional point of order challenged the decision with Section 68 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, having to do with the defection of a senator from the party under which he was elected.
Section 68 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. A member of the Senate or the House of Representatives shall vacate the seat in the House of which is a member if, being a person whose election to the House was sponsored by one political party, he becomes a member of any other political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected.
The former deputy minority leader represents Taraba South Senatorial District, and not you. He knows what is happening there more than you do. Lastly, is his fundamental human right. So with that, I rule you out of order completely, distinguished Senator George Thompson Sekibo.
Earlier, a letter signed by the national chairman of the PDP, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, and read on the floor by the Senate President, had announced the election by the Senate PDP caucus of Senator Isai Shuaibu Lau as the new Deputy Minority Leader.
The PDP Senate caucus has duly informed the national headquarters of the party, in view of which we so communicate to you. We believe Senator Lau will be an asset to the leadership of the Senate. Thank you, and do accept the assurances of our highest regards. Signed, Dr. Iyorchia Ayu, National Chairman.
Meanwhile, the Senate President says education is the only weapon needed to change the world. He stated this at the launching of a 25 billion naira appeal fund for the development of education in Yobe State. This was on Thursday, the 10th of February 2022.
We want to change the world. So this is one effort that we want to appeal to all of us here, that is a national call channeled through Yobe State, because the investment in education is the best investment that anybody could do that will attract the best interest at the end of the day.
Chairman of the occasion, Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, agreed no less.
Education is the foundation. Indeed, it is the key to a successful and fulfilling life.
The governor of Yobe State described the timing of the event as apt, saying it would help the state's educational sector, which has in the last 12 years suffered a setback due to an insurgency targeted at disrupting education.
The people and government of Yobe State, and indeed my humble self, feel deeply honored by your presence and support on this subject that is so central to the development of human society.
The Borno State governor quoted a UN report showing a loss of $6.9 million to insecurity in the northeast, hence the need for the appeal fund.
This quantum of money is very huge, and therefore Yobe State government alone cannot shoulder the responsibility of the educational sector. And therefore I'm urging all and sundry to donate generously.
The occasion was graced by dignitaries from all walks of life, amongst who were state governors, royal fathers and businessmen, with the chief launcher and chairman of the Mangal Group of Companies, Alhaji Dahiru Mangal, donating 1.3 billion naira. Still in the education sector, the Senate President, in a reaction to a planned increase of tuition fees in the nation's tertiary institutions, reported by a group of northern students on Wednesday, the 2nd of February 2022, met with some of the chief executives of Nigeria's education regulatory bodies, like the National Universities Commission, NUC, National Commission for Colleges of Education, NCCE, and the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE, to plan ways of averting the increase.
Colleagues, welcome you to this wing of the National Assembly.
In a welcome address, the Senate President charged all stakeholders to join in efforts to enable Nigerian students actualize their dreams.
Whatever situation we find ourselves, we must not do anything that will jeopardize the position of our students. The finances for their education must never be hurdles between them and actualizing their dreams.
The Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, NUC, Professor Abubakar Rashid, responded on behalf of his colleagues.
We are happy you have now raised this alarm on time, and I shall, as I say, immediately I go back, consult the Vice Chancellors, and if possible, we shall bring them to a meeting to discuss whatever resolution we will arrive at the end of this meeting.
The rest of the meeting continued behind closed doors. Next on the program is our profile segment. Stand by for our Senator of the Week.
Senator Biodun Olujimi represents Ekiti South Senatorial District under the PDP. She had her early education at Our Ladies of Apostle Ibadan in Oyo State, after which she attended the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, Lagos, for a diploma in journalism, University of Abuja for a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science, and Michigan University, USA, for a certificate in IT with emphasis on web development. Senator Biodun Olujimi held board and executive positions in the Nigerian Tribune newspapers, the defunct Post and Telecommunications (P&T), NTA, Delta Steel Development Company Alaja, Reflect Concept, as well as DBN Television, amongst others. She began her political career in 1997 and held party positions at different times in parties like the defunct NCPN as well as the PDP. She also held executive positions in Ekiti State, among which was Deputy Governor of the state. She contested as Senator in the 2015 general elections and won, serving from 2015 to 2019. She won again in the 2019 general elections, but was denied victory, which she eventually claimed through a court ruling and is still serving. In the Senate, she is a member of several committees. Her legislative interests include education, women and youth development, as well as skills acquisition.
That has been our package, trusting that you've been brought up to date with key decisions taken during Senate plenary. Until I come your way again with another episode of Inside the Senate, enjoy the rest of your day.